matter who we walked into, it was eye-to-eye contact. Welcome to Landmark. Have you done this yet? Have you done that yet? Have you met this person yet? They greeted Christopher with complete open arms during the admissions process. And I think that that was very comforting to us, is to know that it was a school that graciously wanted to meet the parent and the child. And it's very family-oriented, and that's wonderful.
Landmark has just been amazingly wonderful experience for me as a parent. When the first time we came here and meeting with admissions and in meeting with people from the counseling department, they were just so supportive and really listened to who she was and what her needs were in helping us understand that the school could be the place for her. And bringing her here for the first day when she was moving in as a first-year student was obviously very stressful for both of us. And walking into that assembly and sitting down and then hearing students start to speak and tell their stories. And one girl saying, everyone here at Landmark is the same because we're all different. It just hit home with me. And then when parents started to ask questions about their children and voice their concerns as they were all dropping their children off, it was for the first time in my life I sat in that auditorium and I thought, oh my God, everybody in this room has walked in my shoes. Everybody here knows what a nightmare my life has been like. And up until that point, you don't ever talk with anyone or meet anyone who truly knows what it's like to be a parent of a child who learns differently than everyone else. And I left here, you know, and it's so funny because I'll hear my friends talk and, oh, I cried so hard after I left my child and it's been such a terrible adjustment. I was so happy because I knew she was finally in a place that she was going to find out that she was capable and talented and bright, and things that I had known for her whole life that she just did not believe about herself at all. That I was probably the happiest parent who ever dropped their child off at college, driving home. It was just wonderful. It was wonderful.
I think Landmark tunes into the individual students, and I think a lot of colleges, kids are just a number. And the teacher gets up there and presents the material, and if you don't get it, you don't get it. And we haven't found that at all here. So in high school, they made accommodations, but they never gave him the tools to accommodate things for himself. And Landmark did that. Landmark gave him the technology and the different ways to take notes and different ways to manipulate the text and the writing so that he could become independent.
I experienced being an auditory learner in a very visual world, and my high school wasn't real receptive to that, and it was mostly adversity from my teachers. They just didn't want to help me with the problems that I had.
Learning challenges that I faced before coming here were reading, reading out loud in classes, decoding, math. I mean, it was the whole spectrum. I found out probably in high school is when I realized I can't keep doing this, what I'm doing. I got to bring it up to somebody. I had already been tested, so I knew, my parents knew I had a learning disability, but at that time I didn't comprehend it or didn't want to, so I kind of just blew it off.
Hardest challenge was just that, learning how to learn. The reason why is because throughout my previous education before Landmark, at the most part I was undiagnosed. I had developed some skills, but they were in desperate need of re-evaluation. And I came to that realization here, probably within the first 3 weeks of being in the classroom. And so really the greatest challenge has been learning how to learn.
I definitely learned that I have a voice, and even though I could advocate for myself before, I learned that it really matters what I have to say. I learned different techniques on how to read and understand it. My comprehension level went through the roof. I read everything out loud to myself, or I don't even need to anymore. I've come such a long way.
I think probably the one skill that I have is that I know who I am. Or I should say, every day I'm learning who I am, but I have a much better concept. And I think that's going to be able to help me continue to move along. Hopefully at my own speed, but if not, I'll be able to adapt.
I would definitely recommend it, and I have.
I think Landmark is truly innovative. Just being able to put together all those different types of people, have them mesh and work in the right direction to get the results that they get. It's truly unique.
It's just a very strong, supportive network, and they're very tuned into looking for kids who are having problems, who are crashing, who are struggling, and giving them the support that they need. And then all of the, just the philosophy of the school in regard to understanding that not everybody learns the same, and how do we help everybody find their niche and understand how they learn. And I think that's been the most significant piece for Jessica, and also for me, is having the opportunity to explore how she learns so that she truly understands that now and has been able to educate me, which nobody has ever been able to do before. As much reading as I've done, I had a pretty good understanding of how she learned, but doctors just, they don't explain it to you in layperson's terms, and she can. So we really understand how she learns now and what she needs, so that she's been afforded that opportunity here and been allowed to explore that issue where she wouldn't have been allowed to do that anywhere else.
Everything has been positive and supporting, and forward-thinking, and results-oriented. Mm-hmm. I mean, all of those things, and that doesn't begin to describe it.
Landmark gave us our child back. We knew this was exactly the right
This is
spot
the right place.
and place for Chris to be.
He's taken learning and giving it an art form. He actually enjoys learning, and Landmark brought that out.
Yeah.
I tell people about it all the time. Just been a very valuable experience, and I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, I second that.
It's just a very exciting time now that she's getting ready to leave here. It's been 3 wonderful years gone by so quickly, and the changes in her have just been phenomenal. And for a long time, you just, as a parent with a child with learning issues, you just are overcome with a sense of despair as to how are you going to help your child and what can you do. And there's no despair anymore. It's just pure joy, pure joy.